gonna go watch Drake.
Drake's coming to LA?
He's going on tour.
No.
Why not?
I don't know that I know many of his songs.
You know Hotline Bling.
I know how is he play Passion Fruit?
Of course, you gotta play Passion Fruit.
I hate Passion Fruit.
You go Passion Fruit.
But I'm not gonna
and
pay
it's the perfect
$300
season of the year. You know.
Just to wait for Passion Fruit to play.
What if I called you?
know what it is.
What if I was like, you broke?
If you made fun of me?
Yeah.
I'd probably agree with you.
Because it'd be like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Who you breaking news?
Knows this.
No. Are you going?
Am I going to see Drake?
It's all a Blur tour.
Who's he with?
21. You don't like 21?
I like 21, but I mean,
You didn't like that.
He said the way he said it. He said, "Ugh, nah."
just because it's gonna be the album, they're just gonna keep performing like the 2 albums they've done together or whatever.
Yeah.
One, and then some little songs.
A lot of songs, enough to make another album.
I don't think it's that. I think they got like 3 or 4 max collabs before the album.
All right,
But it's a no.
maybe it depends. If I'm in a relationship, I'm sure my girl would want to go.
Yeah, no, same.
Yeah.
I would.
Sure.
I would only go if like
Nah,
right.
you was asking for a boys' night.
Right?
It really was though.
That's not crazy.
That's not what we're doing, Daddy.
And we're going to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Let me see, what date is this? Hold up.
What WrestleMania is more for the men than
Yeah, we're going to WrestleMania this weekend.
Yeah, we are.
This weekend? Like
Yeah.
tomorrow?
Yeah, April 1st and 2nd.
No.
But when this comes out, it'll be this.
Oh.
Chris. See, that's why Chris ain't into wrestling because he don't know about the fourth wall and the kayfabe.
Yeah, you gotta get on the cave.
Chris is very literal.
He said,
sorry,
he said no. You're like Batista in Guardians of the Galaxy.
For sure.
You know what I'm talking about.
Thanks.
He's like, I have been working out.
right,
I'm
well-
excited about WrestleMania, man.
Yeah, who you trying to see?
The Usos.
Or you like Jimmy and Jay?
Yeah.
Because they black.
You keep bringing, like every time I bring it up, you keep bringing up they black. I don't know, like you act like there hasn't been black wrestlers in the WWE.
There hasn't since the Nation of Domination. They've had
about-
0 aside from our truth.
There's been there's
Almost.
Bobby Lashley, The Rock,
The Rock is Nation of Domination.
Kofi Kingston.
All of the chest.
What is he talking about right now? Big E, like all of them.
Okay.
The New Day.
Okay. All right. Them. Booker.
You just haven't watched it a lot. So you only know Nation of Domination 8 times.
Now I know Bobby Lashley because Bobby Lashley was around 2005, 2006. He was ECW champion
Yeah.
back in the day, and
That
that
was
was
a big
exactly
move.
the same.
Dude, and he's in it. He's 48.
Is he 48?
Yeah. He's gonna be there. He's fighting at WrestleMania.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
Well, I used to want to look like Bobby Lashley.
Who wouldn't?
Maybe some whites, but
Nah, I think it's gonna be a great 2 days. I was pumped when you said you wanted to go to both days.
Oh no, we about to roll out.
Yeah.
So, of course, I got to go see my main man, John Cena,
Hey.
and he better
Be
win.
able to see him though.
Now you know.
can't see
Yeah,
it.
you see it.
You go put that one in.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one.
I'm happy you said this because Chris never knows anything about wrestling.
I don't.
Yeah.
So
He knows.
but he knows.
Enough.
You sure can't beat
Yeah.
John Cena.
You
I
can't
think
see-
in the
I
new
can't smell him.
you definitely can't. Yeah, there's like multiple senses.
You're handicapped.
John Cena down. Does John Cena even exist?
I am 3 for 5.
Chris is handicapped. Just like me.
In the new video game, there's an actual mode where you can't see John Cena.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So it's like God mode or some shit.
Okay, I don't like that. I don't like when they call things that.
No, I mean, I don't know if it's called that, but I'm just saying, like,
So I'm excited to see Brock because he'd be shrugging and smiling.
is Brock fighting?
Yeah, he's fighting almost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That should be
yeah.
a good fight.
That's gonna be all right.
Nigerian King.
That guy botches every move.
He big.
He's big,
Yeah.
and he's talentless. I'm just kidding almost, but not
Your boy MVP is gonna be
Montel Vontavious Porter.
no, that's different.
Oh, who?
You said it with his chest.
Is that his name? I don't know.
You talking about MVP with the braids?
MVP, the guy who walks out almost. That's his full name. I didn't know.
Montel Vontavious.
Oh, okay.
Vontavious Porter. Come on now. He's an OG because he used to come out and he used to say, no, he used to say, big things popping, little things stopping. MVP, slap the floor. That's my guy.
Hey.
Is Randy gonna be there?
Yeah.
Randy Orton?
Yeah. He's fighting who's he fighting?
Bray Wyatt?
Nah, Bray's fighting Bobby Lashley.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Supposedly, but I don't know. I think there might be an injury to Bray or some shit. So who knows? We haven't really know if that Bobby Lashley's coming to every show trying to find him and Bray's not there. So I forget who's Brock Lesnar's fighting.
Brock Lesnar fighting almost.
Oh yeah. Who did you just say?
Randy
Orton.
He was out with an injury.
Yeah, I don't know. But John Cena's fighting Austin Theory.
You think there's gonna be a special guest? Because you know sometimes they bring out The Rock, they bring out Hulk Hogan.
So there's rumors that Rock's gonna be there.
After Rock is down, I'm gonna jump in the ring.
But the biggest, I think for me, what I'm excited about is I think the Bloodline storyline is about to take a big turn, right? Because
for the best?
Well, I think they're about to dissolve.
Really?
Yeah, I think
I'm excited about that.
That's because Roman Reigns versus
Sami Zayn, right?
Nah.
Oh no, it's American Nightmare.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes. So,
which is kind of
well, he's over right now for
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, he's very popular. So, so obviously Roman Reigns is almost 1,000 days as a Universal champ. Like, he has the longest reign. Well, one of the longest reigns. I think the longest reign for the Universal Championship, but like overall, one of the longest reigns. But I think he wants to start doing movies and stuff. So I think he's about to
Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah, I mean he's been
out 10 to 12 years.
No, he won Royal Rumble in 2015.
Yeah, I remember when he came out. He was in that group where they was wearing the bulletproof vest.
Yep.
I remember that. I stopped watching when Bray Wyatt around that time where he first came in and he was doing the Sister Abigail and all that stuff. I did try to bring it back in, but it was hard.
His wife's fine though.
Wait, go ahead. Let me go.
JoJo. She's from the WWE as well. She was on
Bray
Divas.
Wyatt's wife?
Yeah,
is JoJo?
Yeah.
JoJo
from Divas. From Divas, yeah.
JoJo WWE.
She's thick now too.
Oh yeah, I used to watch her in.
Yeah, she was super tiny. When she was in Total Divas, she was 19 years old.
I remember that.
Yeah, she dated a lot of WWE.
She was experimenting.
Yeah.
So she married to Bray Wyatt?
Yeah.
That's random. I feel like I did know that. So she doesn't wrestle anymore.
I don't think she ever actually wrestled. I think she ended up becoming more of like a
personality type
stuff.
thing.
Yeah, like that.
Wow, they got kids and everything.
Yep.
So Bray Wyatt is into black girls. Like,
you know who else is into black women?
Cody Rhodes.
All of them.
Yeah.
I was gonna say everybody because Cody Rhodes has a black wife. Obviously, Roman Reigns, black wife. Jimmy, all them Usos, black women.
That's what I'm telling you, they're black.
But
the only person who's really black on the show doesn't have a black wife, and that's John Cena.
John Cena black?
Yeah.
Why John Cena black?
He black. He John Cena.
What makes him black?
You remember when he was, what you talking about? Chain Gang, Word Life? He used to come out rapping?
Oh, so you talking about the cultural appropriation?
Yeah.
Oh.
I liked it.
You co-signing it.
I liked it.
Interesting.
I became a fan.
Okay.
He was pretty good. I still be bumping My Time Is Now.
You like his music?
Yeah. He got a couple songs that's on my playlist. For real. I'll play it for you. I'll play it for you after when we done. But anyways.
You wearing your John Cena shirt?
I've never purchased WWE.
You better start. What you gonna wear at WrestleMania?
I'm gonna bring a poster.
Nice.
Bro, where we sitting? Ain't no. All it's gonna be is getting away. You just
Why the poster?
Well, that's like a thing.
That's the lore. That's like back in the day, they used to write posters, and then you would hope it would be on TV.
They still do, yeah.
They still do. It's not as popular, but yeah.
We ain't gonna be.
I don't care. I would get the biggest poster. Ain't nobody. I'm gonna be like
All your
Tim's at
posters
the
gonna
Oscars.
do is even be harder for us to see.
No, but the people behind us. Too bad for them.
There's people behind us. I thought we was all the way up top in the back.
We're up, but we're not all the way up.
Oh, okay.
I'll bring a poster. It's gonna say something wild too.
I bought the glitter and everything.
Yes,
Bedazzle the shit.
Yes.
yeah.
Been working on it all week.
Yeah. Don't be shooting down my dreams.
I brought all the crayons.
Who you gonna be supporting?
My man John Cena,
All right.
of course.
Are you gonna just have a blank sign?
Yeah,
And
like
then
a Congress
you
album.
can't see me. Like you can't see this. Or you should just be standing up there with no poster, just holding.
Yeah.
You can't see it.
Yeah, or I'm gonna say like in the 90s they used to write wild stuff like the Destiny Childs were men or something like that. They used to write like wild stuff. So I'm gonna write something like that. Like
Bring that back.
I say the B word in airports.
There you go. It says B
That's
word.
funny.
Yeah, you know
Logan
B
Paul
word
can
is?
be there.
I don't really care about.
He's great. He's really, really good.
Mm.
He's fighting Seth freaking Rollins.
I think that the freaking thing
He's
is
part
the
of the Shield
lamest
too?
thing. He was a part of him, Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
I think the freaking
Nice.
thing is like lame. I don't know. I don't care about him.
He's like he's like
He's like the Joker.
Jack Sparrow
Yeah, I don't care about that
without the actual
talent. Nah, but yeah, I don't know everybody, but I want to see Randy Orton, and
Rey
I want
Mysterio's gonna be fighting.
Rey Mysterio because he's gonna be a legend.
Well, he's already inducted.
No, they announced it. The induction is the night before WrestleMania. Yeah, so
Actually, I don't know if he's fighting. They're trying to get a fight. I don't know if it's actually gonna happen.
against his son.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that trash. I just want to see John Cena. That's all I care about. John Cena, Randy Orton. If the Undertaker comes, that'd be cool.
You don't want to see Usos?
Nah, I don't care about it.
You don't want to see Roman Reigns?
Roman Reigns, whatever. Like I've never seen a pay-per-view either, ever. So I'm excited to see what it's like when I don't hear the commentators. I'm excited.
We're
to see
real
what-
casuals for like acting like we were talking about.
Yeah, you know. So like, I mean, I used to be a fan,
Yeah.
you know, but when you fall off, it's really hard to come back because the people I remember Shelton Benjamin and Ted DiBiase Jr. and Triple H, Shawn Michaels, you know, those big dudes. I remember when Chavo was still wrestling. You know, I remember all those guys. So it's like when I come back in and I see some guy named, what's the name of the dude who used to hang out with Randy Orton, and they're like he does the RKO now too.
The bro,
yeah,
Ridley.
Ridley. I see that dude. I'm just like, all right. Where's John Cena? That's all I care about. I want to see John Cena wrestle.
It should be
7 matches.
Epic event though, because WrestleMania is their biggest event.
Yeah,
It's
2 days
in Hollywood.
Which is crazy.
It's in Hollywood. They want to make it the biggest WrestleMania of all time, so I think there's gonna be some surprises. Becky G's performing.
She's still famous.
Of course.
I didn't know. I remember she had that song where J-Lo was in the back of the car and she drove off. You remember that?
Nah.
So Becky G got famous maybe like 10 years ago. And then after that, I never heard from her again.
She's super young. What are you talking about?
That's when Becky G first started. She was making English songs. And then she had that song.
She was famous in English before Spanish?
Yeah, she was making songs in
known her
English.
in Spanish.
Nah, she was making songs in English, and that's why I said, is she still famous? Because I remember when she was making them songs in English, the car drove off, J-Lo was in the back, and she had that one big, huge song, and after that, I'd never heard from her again. She was over there in Latin America.
She's only 26 years old.
Yeah, she started as a kid.
I didn't know.
Yeah. She had a big song like 2014, 2013, maybe, something like that. Yeah. So, okay, Becky G's gonna be there. Is Babani gonna be there?
Babani.
I don't think he can make it, but he's hosting in Puerto Rico. Bad Bunny got some. This is gonna come out after that.
What?
Bad Bunny taking shots at.
Oh yeah,
Devin Booker.
Yeah, I saw that over her. Kardashian. But I heard that song is old. I heard the song is super old.
Oh, I don't know.
So people are mad at him. Because he's with the
Yeah.
Jenner.
Yes.
Yeah, because he's with a Jenner. Listen, man. I feel like those are the people that take your career to the next level, good, bad, or in between. So
Yeah.
I think he's like
It's
him on the
opportunity.
premises. Yeah.
But how could you take Bad Bunny to the next level?
Put him in with the white people.
He's not already there?
Nah.
Oh.
I think Bad Bunny is there with the Latin market. He got some white people,
You
but
don't
the
have
way
the
that
type of numbers his tour does.
I understand, but he has another large market.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is the way that white people like Korean K-pop, that's what they need to do with Babani, because Babani got all of the Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans, the Mexicans, the Colombians. He got the Spanish speakers, but he needs to have the white people rocking so his tour numbers could do like out of this world Elton John numbers.
I thought he already broke Elton John numbers.
No, Elton John just came back out. He just had an almost $1 billion tour, biggest tour of all time.
So Bad Bunny broke it, and then Elton John broke his record?
Yeah, Elton John was just like, if you don't go sit down with your little Spanish, I got this.
Elton John fire too, though.
But that was more Elton John's last, right? They're promoting it as his last tour.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But Anita Baker didn't make those numbers.
Come on.
All
right.
Come on.
Don't disrespect Anita. This was her last tour for the last week. No, to be fair though, Elton's been on this last tour for the past 3 years too.
True.
Hey, when you got that much money to milk out,
yeah,
ain't nobody mad at an extra Billy.
Yeah, you're right. Well, either way, WrestleMania is supposed to be fun. Crit, if you want to come,
we'll let you know.
Like $74.
I'm good. I knew the one you can't see John Cena thing and the song.
What song?
Even for people, I think even for people that don't know wrestling, it would still be an event.
Yeah. I would. You know what'd be cool if you did WrestleMania like as a double date.
That's wild. That'd be cool.
That would be cool because it's like, girls don't be caring about this stuff. Mm-hmm. But if they went and they like participated,
their wives,
right?
I'd be like, yeah, that's me. Right there.
I wonder. That's the thing. Like, I wonder how much the environment changes on where you sit in the stadium.
Oh man, I wish I was in the front, right where LeBron was.
LeBron was in the front at WrestleMania?
I think so. I saw a clip because they was doing a whole there's a little campaign going around like him and Savannah been out forever, and he was in WrestleMania or Raw or something, like right in the front, and they were showing him in Savannah, and it was like 10 years ago.
Oh,
before he started losing his hair and growing his hair on his face.
I wonder. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of Hollywood-esque people there too.
So oh heck yeah!
We gonna see.
See Mike Tyson. He loves WrestleMania. Yeah. He loves WWE.
Of course.
Yeah. So I'm excited to go. We making it happen. We getting twisted. We getting lit.
Yeah.
All right. Can you get cocaine?
Did you ask me like I'm your secretary?
I'm just kidding. I am just kidding.
Requested.
None of us participate in that today.
No way. Who do you think we are, David Lovato?
Don't do that.
Shots fired.
You know what I have to do now? She made fun of 21 Savage, guys.
You see?
All right, now I have to offset it. People
what she made fun of 21 for?
She was saying he was British.
Which is true.
Yeah, but no, she was like
she said it mean.
She said like Sir 21 of the Savage or something like that. And everybody was like, don't be talking about our 21.
So she just put his name in her mouth.
Yeah.
And she was
not and then the blacks were like, you crackhead. She don't stop talking.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, so go ahead.
Explain something to me. Do you know about the Adam 22 Joe Budden stuff?
Man, if there's one thing I've been trying to avoid, it's that. I have heard one of the people talking to academics, but I don't follow Adam 22 enough to care.
It's about like some culture vulture type stuff.
And I'm tired of that conversation. I'm tired of Joe jumping into that. I'm just, I don't care.
Go. I think also he just platformed white supremacist Richard Spencer.
Oh, and Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, Nick Fuentes has happened, but he just did Richard Spencer. Richard Spencer has been extremely like
White
KKK,
supremacy.
leader of the KKK type thing. But I guess he's supposed to be changing his life or whatever. But I didn't know if you knew. I just know I've been seeing clips of that stuff.
No. I really avoid Adam 22's entire being.
What don't you like about him?
I don't care about him. I just like his content doesn't appeal to me. He be talking to hoes and stuff. Like I just don't care. I it's one of those things where like if I see his name, I just wonder where's Lena or Lena or whatever her name is, and if she's not there, I'm out.
Is that his wife?
That's his girl. That the one that be doing porn together.
Right.
Yeah. If she's not there, I don't care about it.
Yeah, that's wild how he's like a porn star now.
Yeah. Like
how did he get famous? I don't even know.
He was doing his show. It's called No Jumper. He was doing No Jumper.
Oh, so No Jumper. He got famous through No Jumper, but how did he get access to everything?
To what?
To his like he gets to interview all kinds of.
Oh, he's just been doing it for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Adam has been famous for like he's been at No Jumper building that for like 10, 12 years.
And he just had connections or what? I
think that he got in at the right time. Once he started getting some good gas, having some good steam, that stuff kind of comes to you. So yeah. Yes. I'm sure he has to grind too. I don't want to discredit his work, but I just don't care about him. And then he got there's too much drama all the time.
Right.
It's too much for me to care about. He got too many personalities that always have drama. And then he's always doing something that I just don't. Man, look.
That whole Blueface Krishan Rock episode was wild.
That was on No Jumper?
I think so.
See, another thing that I swipe viciously on the internet is Krishan and Blueface.
Dog,
I hate it. I
hate that it's always on my timeline and I don't ever engage with it.
It's always there. They got the best Instagram marketing team of any wife beater couple. I don't need it. Like there's many things I skip. Krishan, Adam 22, when Joe tries to put a cape on, I like skip, instant skip.
Not when Ice Spice bends over though.
I love it. I'm a munch.
I love it. Speaking about munches.
We'll talk more about munches in a second.
A Pew report came out.
Pew.
Pew. A Pew report came out that stated 63% of men would rather not date.
Is that the wording?
I think it's they would rather not date and feel like they could satisfy themselves. They don't need women.
Is the wording they would rather stay at home and jerk off instead of dating, or they would rather not date?
The jerk off one.
Okay, that's makes a difference to me.
Okay,
it does, because if a guy says I'd rather not date, I'm like, oh, okay. But if you're like, honestly,
I'd rather just go on a date.
I'd rather. Okay. That's a little different.
Okay,
because that means that the opportunity, if the right girl came along, you're like, let me just. I mean, it's a little different.
I don't know what you just tried to say. So I don't know.
Sometimes you gotta keep up with me. Okay, sometimes I talk a little fast.
All right. So when you heard that, what'd you think?
I think I get it.
What's the percentage again?
63%.
63% of the world or the country or the
So
region?
Pew Report, they just do like they're pretty. I would say they're, people trust them, so they do these scientific type like surveys and things like that. So I don't know how many people were part of the study, but of the people that they studied, 63% of the men, when asked would they rather stay at home and masturbate or go on a date with a woman, 63% chose to stay at home.
Yeah, but how many people did they ask? Did they give a number?
Well, like, so all of these studies, obviously, it's like going to be
60% of 10 is 4 people.
It's big enough to where they felt like it's a credible.
It's probably about 1,000 people. Like 1,000 to 1,500 people.
Statistically speaking, like it hit whatever the standards were.
So I get that. That's it. Go ahead.
What do you think? What do you think when you hear that?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess we didn't keep up. But anyways,
You lost me, bro.
No, go ahead. You go ahead. I'm going last.
Anyways. I'm kidding. What?
You know, I was like stopping, but I'm not really stopping.
Yeah.
All right. So you get it or no?
No. I
Really?
have to process what he's saying.
So it would be tough for Chris because Chris, when's the last time you've dated?
1980.
Yeah, right.
No, because he's still got to date his girl.
Yeah,
He's still let me rephrase it for you.
Rephrase me.
The question is, would you rather go out and go for the chase of trying to talk to girls, or would you just rather sit at home, jerk off, and watch TV?
There's thrill in both.
You see? Now, why you say that?
Because there's thrill in both.
Wow.
One could be real fun, like getting the chase, and then they're flirting, and then he texts back. She is like, ooh.
Yeah.
And then the other one's like, I could just sit back
Are
and
you
work
still,
on me.
Are you still masturbating when you live with your girl?
That's a very personal question.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Oh, you say yes?
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
If you live with the girl, would you still be masturbating?
To be honest with you, probably not. Like, if I
feel like you haven't masturbated since 2006, so I don't know.
you might be right. But I feel like anytime I get with a girl, whether, and this is like celibate or not celibate or whatever, I just don't even have the urge anymore. It's crazy. I like something clicks off in my mind where I'm like, I don't need this anymore.
Interesting.
You're the only one who really got kind of more of that experience.
Well, like, I'm trying to think because I haven't really lived with a girl other than like short periods of time in my life. And I'm trying to remember if I did. I would probably say yes, I did. But probably not as often as I do when I'm not in a relationship. Right?
Yeah. When you're not in a relationship, it just hit a little different.
Yeah.
But I get it, though. The reason why I say that is because, number one, I get occasionally buyer's remorse.
In what sense?
Every sense. So
what are we talking about again?
Dating.
Okay,
right?
Gotcha.
So, but I get buyer's remorse in everyday life.
Okay.
And then when it comes to dating, right, the experience is more negative than it's positive. Because dating is a game. It's a numbers game.
Right.
So you often are on the losing end. And then when the right one comes along, you feel like, I finally got the one, right? But like most times as a man, dating is just like a blow at your confidence all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
like humbling.
Yeah, it's like not a great experience. And it's mainly because you could go out, have a great night, and then that night is siloed into that night.
Right.
Shorty never hits you back up.
Right.
Or like, I didn't feel a connection.
Exactly.
Or the thing that they do nowadays where they send you the text of like, oh, I had a good time, but you just weren't cool. And then they post it or something, you know, and it's just like,
Thankfully,
it's just
I
like,
had that situation.
damn, like, why? I could just sit at home, hit the OnlyFans, bust one out, play some video games, go to sleep. And then I only wasted maybe like $15. She gave me,
and that's only if you pay for OnlyFans.
You know what I mean?
You could go to Reddit and find that shit for free.
That stuff it's not even there anymore.
It is.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, you got some.
Nah.
Yeah, send me the link. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
it's so negative on average that it's just like, why? And then it costs money. A lot of ladies these days are like, I keep saying this. They're reverting back to that 1950s mentality of like, I'm not paying for anything. You got to treat me. And it's like, cool. I don't mind doing that, but I'm just a number to you. Yeah. So, and I'm not willing to play that game of like filing through so many women and burning through my money to show you a good time. And then, I mean, when I could have just busted a nut.
I stopped dating for a few months.
Yeah.
like I'm not dating right now, I'm literally saving $1,000 a month.
See? Busting nuts.
And I was like, how's my bank account like popping? Like it's growing. Like I'm like, what changed? And then I was thinking, like, even if you go like on 10 dates or 9 dates, 8 dates, whatever, the average date in LA is like $150.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, that adds up quick. And 8 dates in a month is nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, sort of.
Well, it's like if you're talking to maybe like 2 or 3 girls.
Yeah.
2 dates each.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I understand. I wonder. So there was 2 things that when I saw this, read this, I think I watched it actually. I think it was somebody else talking about it. That came to my mind. One, I wanted to see how women thought about if they asked them the same thing. And then 2, I wondered what this answer would be in the previous generation, like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I wonder if the numbers would be the same. I think that dating is just a full contact sport now.
It is.
With all this, the apps and the influences from just how people are changed, like how people are approaching dating and all that kind of stuff, I think is just different now. So, yeah, I think people, anytime you have to get good at dating, I think there's an issue.
Facts.
Because dating shouldn't be like something you like are good at. Dating should get you to the relationship part. You should get really, really good at the relationship part. Now you hear conversations of people that are like, I'm amazing at dating. It's like, I don't know. That's not, shouldn't be a stunt.
You know, another part of it too, the next level. So like, let's say you do find a girl after X amount of dates and she's finally like comfortable to come to your place, which I understand, like people be murdering, but it's still like constant upkeep of it.
Yeah.
That's hard too.
Like, when does it get comfortable? Like,
exactly.
When does it get that I don't have to keep proving something?
Yeah. Yeah. There's something to that. And I've even experienced it for myself where I'm just like, I can never be really just me, because no matter what, there's going to be a conversation that's to be had about something that was said or done that wasn't up to par. Yeah. And it's like, look, yo, I just want to be alive and talk to somebody and eat some spaghetti with you.
Right.
That's all I want to do. But it's so immensely complicated.
Yeah.
And it's not the fault of a woman. It's not the fault of a man. It's just society right now, especially in big cities. I don't know what it's like when you own horses and you just go live in the country and you know 3 women. I'm talking about living in a big old city and people are pursuing passions and people are broke and people are also very angry these days. And you could go on a date because you have opposing views on things. You still expected to pay for having a terrible time. Yeah. Like, it's just too much. Like, it's just too much. People
I have anxiety right now. Are you telling me?
Yeah, it's a lot. And it's a lot to manage.
And there's just a lot, like you said, people are posting stuff on the internet. Like, people could claim something happened and didn't. Like, you never know who you're with. You know what I mean? Like, it's dangerous. And that's coming from a male perspective or a woman perspective.
Yeah.
That like, you know, you never really know. I mean, there's all of these stories about the Tinder swindler and, you know, like Craigslist stuff and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot to navigate where I think, like you said, it's harder and harder to get to just the true essence of people and just like connecting that way. And I was thinking, like, you know, that long, you're on the phone all the time and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I think another thing that's different is now it's commonplace to be talking to like 2, 3, 4, 5 people at the same time. Like, you just have to expect it that people are dating multiple people. That's not how it used to be. Like, you used to just kind of talk to one person and then, like, you know, you're able to put all that energy into one person.
Now, wait a second. I feel like you done told me before in the past that you was cool with that.
I try, like, I'm not cool with it. I had to get cool with it because that's how dating is now. For me,
from last year to this year. Because remember you were giving me advice about like kind of being poly.
No,
not poly, but like having like 2.
No, I wouldn't. For me, I'm always like, I want to just date one person at a time. I think it was opposite. I think you're more.
Mm.
I'm always been. I don't think that you can really get to know somebody if you're dating multiple people at the same time. I've been told so
Or like
much.
sleeping with a couple people at the same time. I think that's what it was.
So I wouldn't date, but I'd sleep with a bunch of people.
There was an episode. You don't remember this, Chris? There was an episode where
put this shit on me right now.
No. I'm being serious.
See how you do me?
No, I'm being serious. There was an episode when you told me about like
I talked about
with,
like
couple
situationship.
Yeah, like something like that.
That's different. I talked about like having situationships.
A couple, right? Like
nah, I've never done it like that.
Not a couple of people. I mean like two situationships or something like that.
I would have one and then the other, like one's done and then
back to back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Either way, I may have messed up.
No, I know we've talked about the value of a situationship.
Yeah.
Our friends with benefits.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Having a friends with benefits. Okay. So just like one friend with benefits.
I know that there's people that feel like if you have a friends with benefits, it makes dating easier. I don't think that. But I don't
see how that could work.
I know there was a person that was a friend of mine and she was like, if you have somebody that you already have sex with and stuff like that, then when you date, you're not worried about the sexual stuff and you could really just get to know somebody. Like it doesn't get complicated with sex. And I was like, that sounds stupid. Because at the end of the day, like, but she's like, I'm always honest with the guys that, hey, you know, I have, you know, somebody that I hook up with and stuff like that. But
could you be with somebody who was celibate till marriage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I think now, I don't think when I was earlier, I think for me now, I find more value in other things. Yeah. I haven't met somebody like that quite some time.
You?
What's the question?
Celibate until marriage?
Would you be able to date somebody who was celibate till marriage or said they wanted to be celibate till marriage?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No?
No.
You got to get it off, huh?
I mean, we're also almost 30. I feel like.
What if they're like, not that they're virgin, they're just like decided now, hey, I've been in so many relationships, I'm trying to be in the right relationship and sex complicates things, so I don't want to give myself to somebody unless I'm sure this is the last person I'm going to be with, and I know that's only going to happen if we're married.
No. I don't want to do
that. Yeah, I got to test drive before I buy the car.
I don't want to do that. That's something I don't want to do. Oh, no.
I don't know what to do now. Thank you, but no thank you.
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny.
Well, that's interesting. No, but I actually like. I saw a video of ladies responding to the Pew thing, and it was like, "Cause men is broke and they losers and nerds and and all this stuff." And I was like, "Bro, that is the exact reason."
Yeah,
because that's what not even need to be judged that hard.
It's like the fact that it goes to men are broke. To me, that's the whole mentality that messes things up. Like, it's not. There's certain expectations right off the jump from a guy when it comes to dating.
Yeah.
You have to be able to plan stuff. You have to be able to pay for stuff. You have to be
fit.
Well, let's not even talk about that kind of stuff. Let's just talk about. So, but just think about like just when a guy like has to prepare for a date versus a girl that has to prepare.
Yeah.
The guy has to be able to afford it, plan it.
Yeah.
And then usually the guy has to be in charge of making sure that the conversation is going. Like,
yeah. It's the Friday after he got paid too. He can only go on a date every 2 weeks.
You got to be courting the person. Like it's already set up where I have to impress the girl. Like the guy has to impress the girl more than the girl has to impress the guy type of thing.
Yeah.
Because even if the girl doesn't impress the guy, They still don't have to pay for a meal. They still don't have to plan the date. They still don't have to drive sometimes. Like, everything is taken care of by the guy. So I think that is already established, which if you think about it, okay, I think it's always been that way.
Yeah.
But I think there was more expectations from the woman in that. And what I mean by that is, back in the day, these same expectations were there, but the woman wasn't dating multiple people at the same time. The woman was kind of focused their attention on one person, or wouldn't go out with somebody unless they knew that they liked the person, right? Mm-hmm. There wasn't this whole, let me just find out if there's a connection. Yeah. I don't think that was a reason to date. Back then, it was like, I'm going out with this person because I already like them. Yeah. And now we're trying to see if this is going to be a relationship type of thing. So then the investment was more smart, right? Because at least the only reason why it doesn't work is that we're not meant to be together forever. Now, girls are going into dates without even
for food.
They're not even like, there's girls that are dating that I know this girl that I was talking to off of one of these apps that was like, I have FOMO. She's like, fear of missing out. So I don't want to commit to anybody until we've dated for at least a year, because I want to date. I don't want to be committed to, I don't want to miss out on somebody else just because I'm focused on one thing. And I was like, all right, well, we're not going to go out because like, I don't want to waste
a full year of your life.
Yeah.
Competing with some other guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's cold.
But there's a lot of people that are like that. Like, I know girls that are like, yeah, I don't know for sure till like 4 or 5 months. So if I'm dating somebody for 4 or 5 months and I'm dating multiple people, because I'm not going to be exclusive until like you really get to know somebody, but you're getting to know multiple people.
You imagine going out with somebody and thinking the entire time
that other guy got a bigger penis?
If you're boring them, if you're not like, like able to capture their attention, they're thinking about like other people. Yeah. Thinking about like what it could be like with somebody else the whole time they're with you.
So I'm going to tell you a story. When I was in college, I was one of the only people with a car. And I was
a big baller, by the way.
Yeah, my mother gave mother gave it to me. Yeah.
There you go.
So when I was in college, I was one of the only people with the car. So I was able to like go pick a girl up for a date and whatnot. So I remember going to pick up this one girl and we were talking maybe like 2 weeks, because in college I didn't really talk to anybody, but I had expressed my like for a few different people. Mm-hmm. And so this might have been, so I went on 1.005 dates in college. One with this girl, and then another one that stood me up.
Oof.
And so I went to go pick this girl up, and as I'm driving, she was just like, my bad. And it was like maybe 5 minutes into me driving, picking her up. She was like, my bad, I'm thinking about somebody else. She was like, can you just drop me right back off? And I made a U-turn right then and there, and
good decision.
Yeah.
Good thing you didn't try to fight it.
Nah, yeah, I was just like, listen, man, I only got $30, so I'm not in the competition with this guy, But
why would she even say yes if she knew that that's the thing. She's using dating to get over somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is wild, because you're really wasting this dude's time. And I think it's like kind of like women's privilege.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't be thinking that way if you had to pay for all these dates, if you had to plan all these dates, if you had to come up with conversation topics for all of these dates. It's such a passive thing for women to date, I think, that they can feel that way. And look, I'm not trying to say that there ain't dudes that are trash out here that are just doing whatever just to fuck you or whatever it is. Like, there's a lot of trash dudes as well that are in the dating pool that make women jaded. But there is a level of investment, like already you have to invest as a man into dating, that I don't necessarily think that women have to calculate into dating. It's just time and energy for them.
Also, let's talk about also it's free meals. Let's talk about how complex it is, because a lot of the women I run into are like, no, I'm not doing dinner first date.
Yeah.
As if like you're an idiot for that. Or it's like, I'm not doing coffee.
So they'll say, I'm not doing dinner, I'm not doing coffee. What?
Yeah, they'll be like, you need to plan something out for me. And it's like, bro, I just swiped right. That's all I did.
Right.
I swiped right. I don't even know if you look like that for real.
Right.
So I think the main thing that's lost in society today is the aspect of connection, because we're looking for a good time with people.
Right.
Right. But I remember I went on a date one time that was at a coffee shop. It was at a Coffee Bean. And we sat there for like 3.5 hours laughing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ordered one thing, but it was like one of those things that you just instant connect. And that's kind of what it should be.
Yeah.
You know, it should just be this simple thing that is just like, can we carry a conversation? Do we see things similarly? And if we don't, are we okay with that? Like, are we okay with our opinions? Do we respect it? And are we able to find middle ground, and or are we learning from each other? Whatever it is. But like, now I got to take you to mini golf, and then I got to take you to the spinning restaurant in the sky. And it's like,
you should think that the girl should earn those cool dates. You know what I mean? Like, all right, this means that I like you, that I'm planning all this kind of stuff. Now it's like, oh, he didn't plan anything. This dude is not the type for me. You know what I mean? Versus let me get to know this guy, and then, then expect all of these other dates because you like me. If you like me, you would have done this kind of stuff, right? And also, I think there's different caliber of women, right? I think I met women that are like, yeah, let's do the coffee date. Yeah, let's do like, I don't want you to invest too much money till we like, because we don't even know if we're going to like each other.
Smart.
Yeah. Those are like obviously high quality, women that I'm like, okay, that's great. Like, obviously you're thinking a certain way, but there's also this mentality, and you see it, and maybe it's just social media mentality. I don't know. Maybe these women aren't real. Who knows? But they're like, I want to date somebody that makes less than $100,000.
Oh, 666?
What's that?
6 foot, 6 figures, 6
Not
inches.
that. Just like I wouldn't date anybody that's makes less than $100,000.
I only got 1 out of 3 of those.
It's the most important one.
That's good. I feel better now.
And
Chris wears size 17 feet shoes.
That's size 13.
let's go, Chris. Get him.
14.
But it's because I've heard girls say that a guy that doesn't make at least 6 figures won't be able to afford being able to date me.
Okay, girl.
Because they're like,
damn,
to go out on a date is like minimum $300 to them.
Oh no.
So like that's like a whole
Who's counting? Who is counting? Her accountant? Who is counting how much I pay for the
What's
date?
the ROI on this date right here?
You know what I mean? You know what's a good date to me? Going to the fair and then going to sit on the couch.
Yeah.
You know what a good date to me is? Memories are built from it. It has nothing to do with where we went. Like, obviously, ambient, all that kind of stuff could play a role. Yeah. But I remember the conversation. I remember like the laughing or the oh shit, she likes that. Yeah. Like we like the comment, all that kind of stuff. It was never like, oh, like we went to
I got the chicken tartar.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes the food plays a role, but it doesn't have to necessarily do with like
it's a character. It's a character in the play, but it's not the overall story.
Exactly. And I think that there are certain women, and maybe, men too, probably, that like feel as if the setting isn't right, then it's not a good enough date. And I know a lot of guys that are like, I can't afford to be dating right now. Yeah. Which is wild. Like, that sucks that. And look, if you can't afford to be dating, you're probably not in a place where you should be in, really. But I take that back too, because what's wrong with the relationship where two people
are figuring it out together?
Right. Financially, where it could be, like, hey, the burden isn't only on one person. Because maybe there's not a lot of people that could afford to have a stay-at-home wife.
It's interesting,
whatever,
because I think that where we live plays a factor in the type of people we're running into.
So I'm trying to move.
Because I got on an app, and it was in a different location.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say it was like farmlands.
Okay.
I got on there. I was like, golly, it's rough out here in LA right now.
Is it rough in LA?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, damn, I keep running into stuff I'm not used to.
Okay.
Stuff that doesn't captivate my attention.
In the farmlands?
I didn't know it was the farmlands at the time.
Oh.
I was just using the app. And I was like,
oh, so you couldn't find anybody that you liked?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I was like, wait a minute. I went back to the thing and I was like, oh, I'm in a whole different place.
Yeah.
I put it right back in LA. I was like, oh, here come the Kardashian looking chicks again. It's back to that. So then I was like, I wish there was something in between.
Right.
That would be cool where it's like, yeah, you have some of this city slicking ways to you because I don't hate it. But, you know, I like a girly girl. I like a girl who likes makeup and likes to do her hair and blah, blah, all this stuff. But then the farmer girls were like, I'll drink you under the table type of women. And it just was like, you know. So I think that plays a role into like the stuff that we see. Because right now, like we live in sugar daddy land.
Yeah.
Here, Miami, you know, New York, that's sugar daddy land. That's where the young girls are just like, look, I could walk right down to whatever restaurant with $6 in my pocket or in my purse and leave with $6 in my purse, stomach full, and some new old shoes. Man, new shoes, new all this, and I'm good. We as men cannot do that here. Back at home, you know, I'm from Florida. I think in Central Florida, yeah, I could just take a girl out and go get some ice cream and be like, no, this is a dope person. Right. And we could just walk by the beach and that's cool. But that doesn't truthfully exist in abundance here. Not to say it doesn't exist, but it doesn't exist in abundance. And
you have to parse through
a lot of
BS, right? And I think that's one thing is like people get jaded.
Yeah.
I've lost my stamina to date, which is like, I'm just like, that's why I took a break.
You have to sometimes.
Yeah. So I'm just like, yo, I just need to reset because once dating becomes too familiar, you've been dating too long, right? It's not fresh. It's not new. Like I could already tell what text message I'm going to get tomorrow from you. I can already tell, like, you know, when I'm calling that kind of stuff, I'm like, yo, I've been dating way too much and it's time to just like relax and work on myself, change some things about me, and then, you know, and then kind of go from there.
I really don't feel like it should be this hard. I really don't feel like it. And especially because I feel like there is a shortage of, there's an excess of single people.
Yeah, more people are single or more people are like
sitting at home jerking off. So there's more of that going on than ever. So it's like, it shouldn't be that hard. But you know what, too? It's also we as men, because I know I'm kind of picky, you know, and I have a hard time. Just being like, look, let me just like her for her personality. But if I just know, like, I just don't, it's just not there on the physical level, I will end it.
Which, I mean, hopefully you end it early. You know what I mean? Like, I think that
sometimes I try though, because I'm like, she's so dope, but I just don't have any physical stimulation from this.
Yeah. See, I don't know, because I mean,
I don't want to be shallow. I don't want to be shallow.
Yeah, if there's zero chemistry, like then there's really not much you could do about it.
There's emotional chemistry.
Well, I like you're talking to another person that hasn't figured it out. Maybe Chris knows more, or like, you know, somebody that has. But I've heard that relationships that do last and stuff like that, like sometimes people aren't necessarily always initially attracted to them, but because of that other stuff, it builds into that kind of attraction. That's
what I'd be thinking. That's why I don't cut it off immediately.
But you have to you can't be keeping that in the back of your mind.
Yeah, I really do be trying. You know, if it's somebody, it's not that they're ugly. I just don't. I'm not like my girl fine. Like I be wanting to have that feeling. Yeah. You know, of like, yeah, I got me a bad one. But sometimes it's just like I got me a great person.
Yeah, and then they turn into a friend.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that if you know that about you, I think one thing is people are trying to find themselves through dating. And that also messes things up too, because like that's the problem. You never know who's actually even in a space that it could work out. I think a lot of, and I'm just going from my experience, probably like 80% of the dates that I've been on never had a shot anyways, because I'm not emotionally ready yet. They're not emotionally ready yet. Like they're still trying to get over something. You know, I still haven't figured out exactly something, all that kind of stuff. Like, and I'm assuming if that's my experience, I'm sure that's other people's experience as well, that you're running into a lot of people where it wouldn't have worked out anyways because they're not prepared, you're not prepared type of situation.
All right, so here's the question. It's Saturday night. Mm-hmm. You got a pretty girl on your line. Would you prefer to sit at home, jerk off, and watch Netflix, or go out with this girl?
You talking about right now in this moment?
Tomorrow.
So I'm not going on a date.
64%.
And it's funny because that's happening right now. Like I'm saying, like girls be hitting me up, hey, you know, like, you know,
you're trying to pay for me to go do activities?
And it's not even girls that are like that. They're girls that have money and that be willing to spend. But for me, I'm just like, I know I'm not mentally in a space where I want to be dating right now. I have some things I want to accomplish, and then I'll get back into it. How
long do you think that's going to take, or is there no time limit?
I don't think I'll be dating till after summertime.
Summer flings off.
It's cuff season.
I think I want to get. I honestly, to be honest, I want to get to a space where that celibacy stuff is real. I want to get to a space where it's like, because I think sex complicates things when you're single and dating. Like, so I want to get to a space where I'm not
celibate till marriage.
Not necessarily till marriage, but I don't want it. I want to be able to control my urges and like be in a space where like, because I think that sometimes, at least for me, dating, like I'll be physically attracted to someone and it gets to a point where it becomes physical and then like you stop building on the other stuff, or that plays a role in why you continue something versus it being about the actual thing. So I think, you know, I'm not there yet. That's why I want to get to a space where it's like that, where I can maybe go like 6 months, 7 months and date the same person without necessarily needing the physical thing to it. Because I need to actually make the decision to want something to work. I think right now I'm cool. I want something to work, but I'm also cool with just
if it don't.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Right.
That's the most man thing to say. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Like I'm cool with dating. I'm cool with temporary, you know, like that. And I need, if you're cool with that, I don't think you could get to the, at least for me, it's not working out. So I need to get to a place where I'm all in on the forever.
So no casual sex right now.
No casual sex, no casual dating. Like that's the thing. I need to be able to get out of something because I see this not ever turning into something. Or I see that you're not ready to be in something forever. So then let's not waste our time. And I'm not there yet. At least I wasn't dating like that. I'm still like, hey, maybe it could work out. You know, like, hey, maybe, you know.
That hey, maybe.
Or like, hey, it's still, we have a good time together. We still have fun. Like all that kind of stuff. I think it changes the conversations that you're having. It changes like what you do. It changes the approach of things. And I need to develop those skills mentally first before I get back out there.
You know what they always say? When you find the right one, there all these things that you're experiencing will figure itself out.
I don't know. Maybe that's old advice for old situations. You know what I mean? Times have changed.
Times have changed.
AI that be writing papers for people, and you could make
AI make us a girlfriend.
Probably.
That was a movie already.
Which one?
Oh yeah, Her. There's like been a bunch of them. Was that 80s one where they make a woman with a computer?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. What about you? Like, what's your focus on dating right now?
Oh man, I'm outside.
I know you outside now.
I'm outside.
So how you outside? Like, what's the focus?
Shoot, I'm chilling.
I don't even know what that is. I'm asking real in-depth questions. You give me one word. And be like, keep up. And then he's like, keep up.
Sometimes it's a little fast. So you gotta keep up. You know what?
How soon do you have a age in your mind where you want to be married?
I've never thought about being married.
Okay.
Let me rephrase that. I have never seen the future and then I'm like, I'm this guy in a marriage. I've seen myself be somebody's dad.
Okay.
But I've never seen myself be somebody's husband.
Interesting.
Never.
Is there an age in your mind where you'd want to have your first kid?
Nope. I used to not want to be an old dad.
Mm-hmm.
But first of all, 400 square foot apartments are $700,000.
Yeah.
In the area in which I live. I'm not gonna raise a kid where I live now. I got tile in the whole house. So it's just like, if I can afford that, but
people are doing it.
Yeah, they're doing it, but I'm not. And then also, you kind of have to have a woman to have the baby.
Obviously.
You know what I mean?
So that's why I was asking. That's
another difficult. I also want to be married if I have a kid, but I've never seen myself married. That's like.
Do you think that have you imagined a path where you're never married?
Yeah.
You'd be happy in life?
I don't know if I'm happy, but maybe. I've thought about it where I'm like, you know what? I could just be on my Elon, where I go out and I focus on the business and I focus on the money and I'm super successful. And then I share the wealth in the best way possible. I do my best to help poor people in Haiti. And I
got a bunch of kids though.
What happened?
Elon got a bunch of kids.
Okay, then I'm more like
Samuel Bankman, whatever the dude that messed up.
Bankman-Fried, the one in prison.
Exactly.
No, I'm not going to be Samuel Bankman-Fried, but
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
But but I don't envision myself being a father without being in a marriage. But I've never looked at somebody and said, I think I want to marry you, except for one person 10 years ago.
Right. But what I'm saying is not necessarily being in that moment, but wanting that moment. So like, for example, my mentality in dating has been very similar to you. And what I'm thinking about is like, okay, well, does this mentality ever get to the place where you can actually find somebody married? Because if you're so okay with it not working out, and you're so okay with, hey, it's fine, I just enjoy the moments and, I enjoy the company and all this kind of stuff. Does that take away from it ever getting to the next level because you're so okay with it if it doesn't get to that level? Like the fact that I'm like, I'm cool. I think I could see a life where I never get married and I'll be happy. Does that make it so that it takes longer or I won't be able to be married with that mentality because the urgency isn't there?
I don't think so. Because there's a lot of people who are out there who had the same mentality. And then once they found something that was worth holding on to, they changed. I'm not anti anything. And I float in the wind because I haven't been taught anything else. Mm-hmm. I haven't experienced anything that made me a hardcore believer. I'm a romantic. But I feel like there's a lot of gates that I have to hop over to get to that point. And I'm probably still jumping over hurdles, So, but realistically, I feel like I'm open at the moment. I'm open at the moment. Now, I'm not open to $150, $175 dates. I'm good. But you know what I love? Ice cream. And I hope you do too. I'm open. Like if you hit me up today and you are like, I just want to get to know you, I'm open to cheap things. I'm
cheap dates, not cheap women.
Yeah, no, not cheap women. No. But like if you just are really just like, I just want to talk, I just want to connect. And then if it works out, that's cool.
Right.
And I will actually put in effort. If I believe that it's worth it, I'll put in effort. But if not, hey man, I spent $10.
Chris,
talk to me, Goose.
I have a question. I don't know if you could even put yourself in this mindset, but like, was there ever a part of you that wanted to like see what else is out there? Or were you always pretty relationship oriented? Or did you just like, it just clicked? So it's like, I can't see myself with anybody else.
I very much, when I was younger, I just want to see myself in a relationship. that's good. Only got the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Then as years go by in high school, this is me in high school. This was 94, 95. In high school, and then like just starting college, you're like, man, I'm young. Let's see what else is out there, and da 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 da. And I definitely had that mindset. And then after a while, it was like, no, this person's like comfort to me, if that makes sense. You know, it's something cool happened. I wanted to go tell that person.
Yeah.
Not everybody else that I was with, you know.
So like you had the relationship mentality initially, and then it was more like, do you think that mentality of I want to see what else is out there is because you felt that way, or because that's what society thinks?
Could have been societal pressures. I think like yourself as well. You don't, in high school you only see a finite amount of people every day.
Mm-hmm.
Then in college, you're like, oh, these are new people. I've never seen anybody else like this. You know what I mean? These are new people, and I think that brings it as well. And that and societal pressures too. Like, you know, oh, I went out with this person. I went out with this person 2 days later when you're talking to your friends or whatever. And like, man, I'm sleeping with everybody. You know, and then you're like, oh shit, like, am I missing out? Am I getting FOMO? You know,
right?
So that's, I think,
because I think there's a skill to being in a relationship. Like, whenever you like, I think people that feel like they have a lot of options probably aren't the best in making relationships work, because you're always like, all right, well, there's something else out there. Whereas I think that maybe with Chris's mentality, because obviously Chris is a good looking guy and, you know, your girl's a good looking girl. Like, I'm sure there's other options, but you guys would rather work it out with each other. Like, let's fix this problem versus let's go see what else is out there.
Right.
Which I think there is a lot of, I think even personally for me, maybe sometimes that's like, oh, well, why am I dealing with this? There's got to be somebody else that fits with me better. But maybe that's not the mentality you need to have. Maybe you just kind of, that whole saying, grass is greener where you water it. Like, if you work it out with this one person, that could be it. But you already kind of felt the connection, like, hey, this could be somebody.
right.
Yeah, but that's also the right somebody for you. You have to make that choice about who I want to go through crap with.
Yep.
And in my experience, I have at one point in time, like, talked to a few different people and then was just like, oh, that one's really stands out. And then, you know, you shed, you know, the ones that you were like thinking about or maybe or sort of kind of. And it's a short period of time when you think all of them are great.
Mm-hmm.
It takes only 3 weeks to find out, like, oh, I think, and then that one, no. But that one really stands out. I think that's healthy. I don't think it's unhealthy. But you have to commit to it.
Do you think that there's only one person meant for everybody?
No, I think there's one person meant for everybody who decides that there's one person meant for them.
Oh, okay. Because I look back in my life and I think I could think of maybe like 2 girls that I think if I had the right mentality, they would have been perfect. But I didn't have the right mentality.
Is it too late?
Yeah. They're like with people married and all that kind of stuff. But
Do they have insurance?
I don't know what that means. Wow.
Hit the button.
Like life insurance? You crazy boy. Anyways, I think, and I'm like, all right. Like the way they were devoted, like their characteristics, their quality, the caliber of person they were, the connection we had, stuff like that. But in my mind, I wasn't ready to like settle down.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was ready to settle down, I could see us happily married and having an amazing life together. But the guys that were with them, they were ready to settle down, which is why they are happily married and kids and all that kind of stuff.
So you think?
Yeah, I mean, I would hope so.
Yeah,
I would pray that that's their situation. But to me, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think there has to be a mentality, like Chris was saying, where he wanted to be in a relationship. Like, he wants something to work out. And I think you have to make that decision, and then you have a chance for it to happen. I don't know. I don't know that I'm meeting as many people that are like, you know, I wasn't really looking for this, but it just happened. That's like I've heard that in the past, like back in the day. Mm. Now it's like the people that I've seen in successful relationships is like, yo, I put in a lot of work in myself. I wanted to be married. I dated differently. I made the choice that I wasn't trying to date a whole bunch of people. Like I was only looking for people that fit the certain thing that I'm looking for because I was looking for marriage. And then it worked out.
Do you feel like you have to meet people, like the chance of meeting somebody that you really want is on the apps now because meeting people in real life is dead?
I don't think it's dead. I mean, it's tougher for me that doesn't really have, like, I'm a loner by nature, so I'm not really like running into people as much, or you know, I don't have friends that have, you know, like I'm not in
how
social
it used
gathering.
to be back in the day. Like, oh, it's a friend of a friend who connected it.
Exactly, or like college where you like in close proximities with people in clubs and classes and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I work remotely. I don't even go to an office. Like, so it's like meeting new people isn't necessarily there. So I think the apps are more convenient, but it would be cool to meet somebody. Like I said, I think like college was.
That's the time.
That was the time. So now it's like, you know, and also I'm older, and like the girls that I'm dating are gonna obviously be a little older now too, as far as, so there's baggage that they're coming with. There's like, they're jaded, they're figuring out, like, you
divorced.
Could be divorced, could have kids, could be, you know, there's a lot of things that could have been, or they've been so focused on their career and, you know, getting to a place where they didn't need a man because they didn't have a man, or whatever the case may be. They didn't want to bank on being married to have a successful life type of thing. Or even they had their own goals and aspirations that they wanted to fulfill, that I think just like a man has to figure out a way to balance both, a woman has to figure out a way to balance both.
You don't think about going to church or like a religious gathering?
It could. I mean, a lot of, obviously I think that could be a place, but you know, for my religion, it's not as much you get to see, or it's like not a regular thing where people go regularly type of thing.
Yeah, it's a funky world, and you start hearing it. Like for me, once I start hearing it outside of big cities, that's when I'm like, oh damn, y'all experiencing that too? Like I experienced conversation with some friends of mine from back home, and I'm from a small city, not like, it's not a town, but you know, it's not crazy. And hearing their experiences, women who are in these relationships with like women my age, mid 30s, and you hear about abuse, different types of abuse. You hear about like abuse on their kids, or you like all the stuff, and then now they're like, but I'm ready to start over now. And sometimes they carry that into the next thing.
Right.
It's so scary. And it actually makes me really sad too, because you think about like the time when everybody was so innocent.
Yeah.
You know, you think about college and those times when it was just like, we just vibing. Like we just out here. Nobody has all this pain on them, but now they do. And it sometimes requires so much more work, because people already have that red flag up because somebody's hurt them or they've experienced so much negative. So we may sit here and complain sometimes about how difficult it is, but the other side is saying, look, you don't understand how difficult it is for us.
Right.
Because of what we've already experienced. We can't just start off trusting you. And it's just like, man, what happened to those simple times when it was just like, hey, this is my name. What class are you in?
Right.
Oh, now you like writing too? Me too. That's crazy. Have you heard about this on YouTube? You know, and it's just so simple.
Did you get that new CD?
Yeah. That's so crazy. Time is a beast, you know. But
Leo only be dating 19-year-olds.
Yeah, because he remembered that time when he shot Titanic.
Do you remember the time?
I do, Mike.
We fell in love.
Mike.
I mean,
it's tough out here, and you know, but you got to keep trying, like I said. And I think that eventually, hopefully sooner than later, we'll figure it out. And once I figure it out, I'll make sure I share it with the world.
I'd be interested in going on a Sadie Hawkins date.
Where the girl asks you out?
Yeah, why not? I experienced that in 2021. Somebody really just put me into perspective. Because the other day I was telling him I had a 2021 now. Like the second half, women were interested in me. I don't know what I did, but he was like, "Oh, it's because of the pandemic." And like everybody was inside. Now that they're outside, they just think everybody looks good. I was like, "Oh,
get on Bumble."
You're probably right. Nah, but I will be interested.
Yeah.
In the Sadie Hawkins date.
Would you though?
Yeah, I would.
But do you think that would be the type of woman you'd want to be with?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not. Listen, we don't have to make this a regular thing where you're always taking me out.
Right.
But I do think there's a certain charm to it. If you just
a lady making a move.
Yeah, make a move. And then and I actually liked it in 2021. Uh-huh. People were sliding into my DMs, or like I was going to the mall and people were like, "Oh, let me make a move on you." And it was like, "Oh, snap. I'm not just a piece of meat that's just like always chasing." You know, you have a genuine interest in me and it actually feels really good. And deeper than that is what I was talking about though. Like more, even if I make the first move, I would be interested in going out with somebody who's just like, "Let me plan this date. I'm going to get you a nice little black shirt. Wear that. Be prepared at 7:00. I'm going to take you somewhere." And I think that would be cool. We don't. It doesn't have to be the standard. It doesn't have to be what we do all the time.
Just
but like every now something new where you're just like.
I've had that. I've had a girl that like was like, "Do you like comedy?" And she booked tickets to go see Cat Williams and like picked it out, all that kind of. She paid all that kind of stuff, and it was dope. Like it was really, really great. I appreciate it a lot, and we've talked about this like.
You ain't married this girl?
She ended up being the one that like was super Christian, like wanted it would have worked like if it wasn't for, you know, that she needed somebody to be Christian. But and she's not the only one. There's been quite like a lot of girls, like high caliber women, I think, have that mentality, understand. Like a girl that understands what the struggle can be for a man dating is very, very appealing to me. Like that is
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that is someone who I'm like, yo, like it makes you even more attractive to somebody that's like, no, you know, this is expensive, or are you sure? Like, you know, let's split it. Like those type of girls, yo, you got me around your finger at that
for point. Sure. Because I'm gonna waste all my money on you.
Yeah, you get everything at that point. But it's just
like, you care. That's what men need.
That you understand.
Understanding and appreciation.
Yeah.
That's all men need.
And it's funny because I'm sure if people are listening to this, it sounds so common sense, but it's so hard to find.
It really is.
It is so hard to find. Like most women that I meet, it's not even crossing their mind. It's like, you're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to? If you like me, what is it? You know, like that's the mentality that you get.
It's true.
So like when you find somebody who's like, man, you've been planning all of these dates. You've been, you know, and they've been amazing. Let me plan one. That's like, I'm getting chills. I'm like, yo, goosebumps just thinking about it.
I will say this too. You know what I like? I like ambition. Mm-hmm. I am never attracted to somebody who's like down and is okay being down where they are. I work a lot, and my schedule is not open to just like what everybody else. You know what I mean? Like I don't work 40 hours. Or like 2.5 times that.
Right.
So I do like somebody who is a little like on that career hustle, who has something that they want deeper than, you know, than just being here or like complaining about what their situation is. Like, if you are really a beast that I have this dream, I have this goal, and I could fit into this matrix and into this puzzle, and we could do all this together while being the people that are building a family and all this stuff. I really like that, and I admire it. And I think because I admire it, it comes back into me to play into me. Like, you doing what you doing is getting me excited about what I'm doing. So I want to be even better for the future of what we want to do.
Yeah.
I do admire stay-at-home whatevers you want to be. Stay-at-home wife, stay-at-home mom, whatever it is that you want to do. But at this moment in my life, if you're not like, yo, I got this thing that I'm working on, and I'm excited about it, or I have this degree, or something I'm working towards that fulfills you. Mm-hmm. I kind of like it gives me a little like.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah, no, I like that.
I like women that have things, but like I don't like a woman that's super busy.
I don't need her to be super busy,
but like I couldn't date somebody with your schedule.
Nah, people can't date me. Period.
Yeah, because it's like for me, I don't know. It's just like I want somebody who's ready to put in the type of effort and time that I'm putting into.
I feel that,
and like I think that there's a girl that I was gonna start, but like one of the things that makes me kind of pull back is that she's always busy, and I'm like I don't knock her for that. Like, yo, go do your thing. Like it is attractive, but it's also like I don't want to have to constantly feel like I got to schedule 2 weeks in advance to be able to, you know what I mean? I like the spontaneous. I like being able to talk to somebody on the phone. I like being able to call somebody and they pick up every now and then. They don't have to pick up every single time, or you don't have to text me back immediately every single time. But sometimes it's nice to like have like, just in the middle, kind of have a conversation, or somebody that has the same amount of free time and stuff. And look, I don't have a lot of free time too. I'm busy and stuff like that, but I never want to like make somebody feel like I don't have enough time for them.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when you're super busy, it's just really, really hard to not make somebody feel that way because there's just a lot going on type of thing.
It's true. And that's one of the difficulties with me because I'm fueled and fired by ambition of the future, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't necessarily need a busy person. I just need somebody who has a vision and is working towards it. Because a lot of the stuff that I run into is like, I don't really like what I do. What are you doing about it?
Yeah, I mean that's unattractive.
That's
somebody you like somebody solution oriented.
Yes, or like, solution oriented, but also like have some seed of something. Yeah. Like there's a lot of just like I'm pretty, so you should like me, and I think that's the difficulty of like beautiful people. Mm-hmm. They don't have to have a personality,
right?
But
we got some bomb ass personalities,
right? Yeah, the best in the business. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But like, I don't necessarily need like if somebody was a nurse, I would love if they're like actually, but one day I want to be a charge nurse, and then like from there, I don't know, like maybe I want to get into this, or maybe like something. You don't have to be super busy. I know I'm super busy, and it annoys people. I get it, but. Something like something
for me. I like, and maybe it's just because I'm at a different place, right? I'm older, and what I'm looking for is different. But like, I like the vision that. So I was dating this girl that I really like. Unfortunately, she didn't feel a connection with me, but I thought she was great. And one of the things she was like is like, the reason I'm in the field that I'm in is because I want to be able to raise my kids and work from home, and still be able to, help out, my husband and all this kind of stuff. And like, to me, that was dope. Like, cause the vision was family, I want to have family. I want to be able to do, but it wasn't like my career over everything. Cause I'm not a career over everything person. Like I have a career because I want to be able to have nice things and go on trips and, never have to worry about how to afford stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's not like the ambition isn't that. The ambition is to fuel other stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so like I'm looking for somebody that's interested in that other stuff. And if they could help out, great. If they can't, all right. But the vision is more like, this is the type of life I want to have versus career ambition necessarily.
I feel that. And I think career ambition, I think it's important in a certain sense. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm pursuing something that takes a lot of my time, and I don't need that on the opposite end. Like I said, I like girly girls. So a girly girl can be interested in like, oh, I want to have a baby. I want to have a family. Like I like that. Mm-hmm. But the reason why I bring this up is because I find myself having to be people's motivational speaker immediately.
What if their ambition was you?
Sometimes a lot of times it's not that. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm trying to fight to be that. You know what I mean? Like, How can I fill that open spot in your heart? And I meet a lot of that. A lot of like, I'm just floating in the wind. And I don't,
But what if their ambition was to be the perfect wife?
That's okay. But so I remember this one girl who told me that was her ambition. She wants to be a perfect wife, but she also wants to do this, and I liked it a lot. Mm-hmm. But she only answered to text messages once every 2 weeks. And it was like, so if you're telling me all this stuff, because when we go out in person, fireworks, right. Beautiful time. But I called, no answer. I text, no answer. 2 weeks later, oh yeah, let's meet up Friday. And it's like, well, if your ambition is to like me or to be with me, like you ain't putting in that work at all. So I don't know if your vision got cataracts, but you lying.
Right.
So it's just like that kind of stuff that I just don't like. Like I'm a man of my word.
Right.
I'm a man of like, if I tell you this is what I want to do, there's a 90% chance I'm going to try.
Yeah.
And I like that on the opposite end. Even if it's not 100% career based, if you say, I want you to try, like put the work in.
Right. Proves it.
Yeah.
Like actions got to match the words.
Exactly.
And I think that's for anything, right? I think that's for anybody. Like, I don't think anybody's like, I really like the fact that he hypes me up like this and tells me this is going to happen and then it doesn't happen. Like, I don't think anybody likes that, but no, I get what you say. Like, for me, vision, I think vision is important. Like, you can't just like, I don't know, I don't care. Like, you have to care about something. I think that's what it is. Like, but for me, it doesn't necessarily have to be career. It's always nice if they have money, right? Or if they're like, but if they don't, that's cool too. Like, but you have to have something that's elite.
I just got to find out why they don't have any money at our big age.
I mean, and what I mean by have money, like if you're supporting yourself, that's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe you can't buy a house. Maybe you don't have 50,000 saved or whatever the case may be. All right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I asked that because it's like, why you ain't got no savings?
Right.
Like, why? If it's because you got a lot going on in life, but your bills are paid and everything's good, cool. No problem.
If it's because you just be spending frivolously.
Or if you just don't seek any advancement. Like if I know a girl who worked the same job for 15 years. That's not going to work out.
What if that person is making $85,000? So they're just like, this is enough.
It's not. That wasn't the situation.
Oh.
If you don't have any money because you decide to stay at the same job that paid you $40K a year for 15 years, that's a problem because it just says that you have problems in life and you won't do anything to solve it.
What if they were at the same job for however many years and they don't have any ambition to change, but they're like financially good, they're good with money, like
that's a different thing. That's like dating a teacher.
Yeah.
A teacher's on average doesn't make a lot of money, but if they're wise with their money and everything's fine, that's a different story.
Could you date a teacher?
Yeah, for sure. I could date somebody who works at Burger King, but
not Wendy's.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is
Burger King is a career. Wendy's
In-N-Out is a career.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, like, if you work at Burger King and you tell me, man, I don't know how I'm gonna pay this, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, and that's been your story for a couple years, you're not solution oriented. So, because eventually, if I have a child with you and the kid has a problem, who's gonna be solving all them problems?
Right.
Me?
Right.
I don't know.
I want a partner.
Yeah.
What do you bring to the table? Doesn't have to be money, but it has to be like a skill.
Yeah,
what are the
knowledge? Bring something.
Nurturing, like
especially if they want to be a stay-at-home mom.
Right.
If they're like my age and they don't have any career advancement, the reason why that's important to me is to say like you got to prep. Like you're kind of prepping yourself to get to that point of like eventually I want to just be a stay-at-home mom.
Right.
So
I don't want to have the responsibility that I can't get away from.
Exactly. So it's like at least you spent the first 15 years of your single life stacking away, saving, and preparing yourself for this moment because it doesn't necessarily always need to be right on me.
Right.
Like you can come in and be like, yo, I got 20, 30, 50, $60,000 saved for when we do this together. These are my goals. These are my ambitions. And I didn't sit around twiddling my thumbs for 15 years just hoping that you got it covered. Like, no, I'm coming into this
strategic.
Yeah, with a strategy. And that's what I think is important.
You do strategy does tickle your pickle a little bit.
I like that. If they be thinking ahead, I like that.
I love you some strategy.
I do. The pickle is tickled. Right, Chris? All right. Well, me and Chris is gonna go eat burgers and drink beer. You can't eat.
Nah.
But is there anything you want to say, Chris?
Say that again?
Is there anything you want to say?
No, I'm good.
All right. Sunil?
Yeah, so if you like this episode, we need you to do us a favor. We trying to build our YouTube. And a lot of you guys are listening, but a lot of you guys aren't subscribing. So we need you to go to YouTube, search Men on the Internet podcast, and you will find our @ is Men on the Internet Network 1992. Give us a subscribe and leave us one comment on whatever your favorite video is. That's what I need you to do.
And you can also search Men on the Internet Network. That also will pop up on YouTube. Please give us a like on this video. If you're watching the video, if you're listening to the podcast, give us a like, a thumbs up. What's the other thing, Chris? Upworthy?
Wink.
A wink. Give it.
You remember winks?
No.
It was a poke.
Yeah.
A poke. Yeah.
Poke.
Give us a poke.
Yeah.
Give us something. You know why?
All
Because it
2009.
gets us into the algorithm. It helps us build the show. It helps us build an audience. And all this stuff, we didn't get it for free. We need a little bit of help, some of that ad revenue to give us the ability to grow this podcast. Soon, very soon, we're going to be introducing more and more formats and elements to the show, and we are only powered by you. So one more time, on YouTube, Men on the Internet Network. On Instagram, follow us, MOI Podcast. And you have a wonderful day.
Thanks for listening. If you like what you saw, please make sure to subscribe to us on Instagram @ MOI Podcast. And please check us out on our YouTube channel by searching Men on the Internet Network.